them steppers, huh? But you can't step with us. Niggas swear they certified steppers, but don't step enough. Oh, you be with them steppers, huh? But you can't step with us. Niggas swear they certified steppers, but don't step enough. So you be with them steppers.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Certified Steppers Podcast. I am your host, KP, as you know, and I have two beautiful guests with me now from the Real Sip and Spill Podcast. I want both of y'all to introduce yourselves real quick.
Okay, I go by the name of Thug Motherfucking Sammy. I'm one half of the Real Sip and Spill.
And I am the other half of the Real Sip and Spill. I'm ambitious, fine as Teray. Okay. So how y'all feeling? We are a podcast of two women who create conversations.
Oh, wow. Sipping wine.
Look at that. No, that's dope, first of all.
We say that with everything.
That's dope.
And then
I love
some
that.
people to follow us on all social media platforms.
Yeah, you can find us at the Real Sip and Spill at everything except
Twitter, which is Sip and
Spill
Spill
1. And give us a 5-star rating because we some 5-star bitches.
Hey,
Ow.
I fucking love it. Absolutely, I fucking love it. That's dope. But no, I'm serious. How did y'all how did the Real Sip and Spill come about? Talk to me about how did
You
that
know
come
what?
about?
I love and hate when people ask me that because it's like I hate repeating the story over and over again. I just want to move past it because it's been 2 years.
Gotcha.
But I used to originally do this with someone else, and I decided not to do this podcast with her anymore. And actually, I decided to just end the friendship. That's what it was. It was my best friend.
Okay.
And I was already with Ami. We were working together, and I was in the car. I'm thinking of I was talking to her about what I was going to do next. You know, I knew I wanted to continue the podcast. I just didn't know if I wanted someone else or if I wanted to do it myself. And she was just like, I'll do it with you. I'm like, huh? Yes. She's like, I'll do it with you. I was like, girl, do you know what this takes? Like, are you sure you're ready to take this journey with me? Because it's a lot.
It's a work.
And she was like, yeah, I'm going to do it with you. And we've been riding ever since.
That's what's up. And so 2 years in the game.
It's been 2 years, yeah.
I was like, pick me, nigga.
Yeah.
You ready to get in front of that camera, right? That's real. That's real. So, excuse me, in terms of content, y'all were talking. I know y'all said that y'all two females sipping wine, talking y'all talk.
And conversations all while sipping wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, conversations.
We're two women.
Yeah, two women having conversations while sipping wine, right? That's the
Right.
slogan. But I want to dissect a little bit of that conversation. Like, what does that look like? I'll come to you. I'm like, what does that conversation
I think
look
our
like?
conversations is like making a safe space, because I feel like we are women that talk about pro sex. We talk about LGBTQ.
Okay.
Like we talk about everything that I feel like we don't want to stay in one lane of what we feel is safe to just talk about. And so creating conversations is whatever we feel is comfortable. And do it.
We legit create conversations.
We really do. Because I'm gonna say we want you to talk about that. Because like when you say you were going over our contents, you were like, I want to talk about this. We want to create the conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
So
and that's true because what attracted me to actually knocking on y'all door.
It wasn't our faces?
Y'all listen. I introduced y'all as beautiful, so absolutely beyond the faces, but like being serious. Like when I looked at like some of the content y'all were producing. It's a lot of how we go about navigating our content. However, we do it from a male perspective, right? And y'all know how it is. Like when women in general see more than one man in front of a camera, y'all turned off. Before you
dry.
Yeah.
She say dry, but I also think that it's because like there's a space out there, and I want to ask y'all opinion about called the manosphere, right? And I understand that space where it's like this whole man versus woman conversation.
Yeah.
And it's almost like pulling teeth trying to get a chance to understand each other, right? And there's podcasts out there, not just there's buku podcast shows or whatever that supports that. However, I tend to feel like when we sit in front of the camera, before you even press play, that's the misconception you get of any dudes, not just us, but just any dude sitting in front of a camera, right? And I want to have a conversation on like y'all thoughts about it. Like, why are y'all instantly turned off when you see just dudes wanting to have conversations? Like, what brings the negative connotation to this approach that makes y'all say, I ain't trying to hear what the fuck these niggas even got to say?
You want to answer that first?
I don't think we're automatically turned off. I think male podcasting has a very bad reputation right now because a lot of times when male do podcasts, it's mostly bashing women. And I'm not saying we don't bash men. We do sometimes, but we also create a space for men to also speak up and tell the truth. That's why we make sure we have male guests. And when we see these conversations that males are having on their podcasts, rarely ever do they have a female perspective.
Facts.
It's just them speaking of what they think about how our opinions are. And we never do that. We make it very clear in our podcast that we want a male perspective. We want that that conversation because men and women are very different. So we don't want to be a men versus women. We want a conversation on how we can work together to navigate the space, especially as Black men and women. Yeah. There is not a big podcast space for us. When you look at the top 10 podcasts, we don't see people that look like us.
Right.
So how do we make this so we can be the ones on that front page on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio? And that's how we do it, by creating this conversation.
You have to create the conversation.
Yeah.
I
Right.
agree. And like, so like, I know you talked about me looking into y'all content, which I absolutely do. I'm a person, I love this space. I'm gonna do my homework, right?
Yeah.
And like, is exactly what she's saying. Like, I didn't run or get intimidated or feel a way about anything y'all spoke on because I understand opinions are just that. Like when y'all get to y'all facts are facts. Nobody can dispute a fact. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. It's either gonna hit you negatively or positively. However, it's just like, for us, like this, like I don't bash women. I ain't got the time to. Matter of fact, I don't go back and forth with women in that way.
We love that.
Like either we're gonna have a conversation or you can go your way and I can go mine, right?
Period.
So for me, it's really about breaking that barrier. And like, I think that the way we do it is having the conversations with y'all. Like, I think that in that space, we run from it too much. But what I want to get into in terms of the topic, right? I just want to have a conversation around, it was I can't remember what show it was. I think it was the Feminine and Masculinity show you guys had. Mm-hmm. And you guys were just talking about, what feminine energy is versus what masculine energy is and how that ties into relationships and things like that. Mm-hmm. So that's what I want to focus the content around. My first question is, and this is for either one of you guys, is that do you guys first and foremost feel like that there can really be true equality inside of a relationship between a man and a woman? If so, what does that look like?
I don't think so. I don't think that you'll ever be equal. And that's why when men always say they want to be just like men, they want to be equal. I don't want that. I want a partnership. I want someone where I can't get to what I need to, that you're there to be able to support me, love me, and help me grow. Mm-hmm. Because whole parts of having people in your life, even if it's just platonic relationships, everyone is in your life to teach you something. So for you to ever think I can do just as great as a man or probably even better, it sounds extremely crazy to me. Because I don't want to be like a man. I don't want to be better than a man. I don't want any of that energy, but I mean, we all, like we say, have the energies within us, but with having that in a relationship, we're never going to be equal.
Okay.
I don't think we're ever going to be equal.
I think we're equal, but different. Okay. I think we both have things that we can bring to the table. Doesn't mean it's one is better than the other or more than the other. It's just this is what you provide and this is what you provide. So I definitely feel like we can be equal, but we both bring different things to the table.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I lean more to how she looking at it, just because like when I think of equal in general, I'm not talking about the same playing field. We're in the same relationship. Normally people, at least for myself, I'm going to align myself with somebody who's matching energy, financial stability, love, support, and all that shit.
Is that not equality though?
It is. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I know, but we're saying when you.
But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what both of y'all are saying. But like to me, I'm not equal to a man. I don't want to be equal to a man.
I agree with you.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
Like,
I agree with you. All I'm saying is, I was just acknowledging the fact where I understand where your equality come from.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, my point is, I don't think that the relationship is equal because there's certain shit that y'all can do that we will never be able to do.
Okay.
Right? Have a baby. Right. give out milk from your titties, right?
Yeah.
We ain't doing none of that.
But don't you think that's what makes us equal, is that we both have different things we can bring to the table, and that's what levels us together?
From that perspective, yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. No task is more important than the other one, right? Me changing your oil and taking out the trash.
I'm not gonna lie. I think having babies is more important than anything y'all can do.
Oh, okay, beyond having babies, I'll give you that one because you bringing life into this world. But after that, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
But after that part, like it's just about whose responsibility is, because I guarantee if you sitting in the house with a grown ass man and you looking at him like, I'm never gonna take the trash out, and he tell you, yo, that's not equality, you gonna be like, so nigga, what?
Right. You're right, because I will never take the trash out.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't even want to put myself in the even space of men thinking that we're trying to be equal to you. No, I don't want to do those things.
Right.
And I don't even want to try to act like I want to. Yeah. I am not that strong and independent. Didn't we say we are dependent white women? I'm not a strong Black woman. I'm a dependent white woman.
What? Y'all are dependent white women?
You're a dependent white woman.
Because I've even went on a date like 2 days ago and like he said something. He was like, yeah, because I can always rely on you to be strong. I said, what?
Yeah. No.
I said, what? He was like, yeah. He's like, I know you're always going to be okay. No, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I don't want that for me. Like,
I want my tears to be weaponized just like a white woman.
Hello.
No, but okay. So I just want to bring out a point of what you just said. So you do understand that from the perspective of a woman that you don't always want to be strong. You don't always want to be that person. Not as much as y'all, but you know that men go through those battles too, right? Like there's not like we do want to always be strong, but there's situations where life hits you and you can't.
I want to be there for you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's I think
different.
that's the concept.
I don't think that men give themselves the space of vulnerability. They if you always want to be strong or you want those moments of like even when you want to be vulnerable, y'all don't even give yourselves the breath to be vulnerable with your woman.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I'm a pillow talking motherfucker, so I disagree. I tell you my problems, and I know a lot of men like me, so I'm not just thinking from a first person perspective. I know a lot of men, and I don't know if it's a situation where you got to get to a certain age because there were times.
That's what I was saying. I feel like men get more vulnerable as they get older, especially like when they're in like their 40s or 50s. They start to cry. They start to show them size themselves. When they're younger, they're like tough macho. But as men get older, I feel like y'all become more vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I've been crying about like 26, 27.
I love that.
That's good.
You can't play with me though, so that's the difference. Like a man who walks in his masculinity and is not afraid to be who the fuck they are. You know, like I cry in front of my cousins, my homies in the world, and then I dare somebody to try me. Like this,
period.
It's both
okay, so talking about walking into your masculinity, how does that correlate with your femininity then? If you are able to cry, because crying is a feminine energy.
I like the reason why. So when I think of masculine energy and feminine energy, and I think about how people in the podcast world or in society in general speaks about it, I think it's from a very societal and like a corporate PC way y'all look at it. So basically, what I mean is like, as a man, if y'all see me crying, you instantly think a woman would be like, too much of that is feminine energy, right? Mm-hmm. When all actuality, there ain't no fucking emotions. Like, and then like I'm gonna be happy, I'm gonna be sad, I'm gonna be angry, I'm gonna go through shit. So for me to call tears feminine energy, I'm gonna disagree from that. So I can't equate feminine energy and tears because I don't agree with that being feminine energy.
Okay, but by definition, what we were talking about when we looked it up, that's what's considered, because you said the women are about the
emotions.
What was it? Being, and men are about doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like everything men does is about production and something tangible. Women are all about the nurturing and the fluidity of other things. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying by definition it would be considered that, but
we don't go by that.
Yeah, we don't.
No, I'm not gonna sit here and just play like I'm crying in front of everybody. I'm not. But like if I build a connection with you and we sharing energies and I feel safe in your presence, I'm not hiding none of that. You're gonna get my tears, you're gonna get my anger, you're gonna get my sadness, you're gonna get my depression, my anxiety. I'm trying to show you everything because at the end of the day, if you can't rock with that part of me, you definitely ain't finna rock with the Rue Chris me.
Right.
Like at all. So it just is what it is from that standpoint.
Definitely.
Like, but like I do want to like while we're here on masculine energy versus feminine energy, like you hear a lot about that in the podcast space now. Yeah. Like, it's like I said, the manosphere is masculine versus feminine, right? Mm-hmm. Like and I heard on the same episode, I don't know if it was I don't think y'all self-proclaimed this. Y'all say that a lot of people call y'all man eaters.
Yeah.
Term,
they do.
So let's dissect that. Like, why do y'all think y'all get that title from men?
I think the reason why, one is men are intimidated by us.
Well, hold on, let me pause you. Is it just men that say that, or is it just...
No.
Okay.
Because I was going to lead to why I say that. Because I feel like we are women's women. Like we are okay with telling someone to fuck as you want to, do as you please. I feel like we are women's women because we empower you to be the best version of yourself or whatever that looks like to you. Because we always say what? Bigger, better, badder, bitch. Mm-hmm. So whatever that looks like to you, like everything that I feel like we preach is everything in spite of men, not because of men.
Right.
So that's why I feel like we get
and that's the problem because we do it in spite and not because.
And that's what makes people think like, why do y'all think y'all don't need men? Like, no, I genuinely do want a man and I feel like we need each other. But for who we speak for. We speak for the bitches that feel that way, but just don't have the extra push to do it. Right. Because I could live it and talk it and live my life perfectly. But some bitches, they just like internalize it, need to hear it, and then be like, you know what? That's right. Right. I feel that. So I don't have a problem with that. Because if I'm a man eater, I'm gonna eat y'all all the fuck up.
And I feel like we get that because I don't know about how y'all think about it, but a lot of times women are taught to be seen and not heard. And we are speaking loud and clear. And a lot of men do not like that. And they can't handle that. They can't handle a woman say, yeah, I like to fuck niggas. And I fuck that nigga and dump him the next day. To them, they're like, oh, what the fuck?
They're like, that's so
why
unladylike.
are you encouraging that? Because we're encouraging your bitch to leave you when you're not treating her right. We're encouraging your bitch to level up and get a job and not just be a stay-at-home wife and do whatever and cook and clean and wash your drawers and all that stuff. If you want to do that as a woman, that's
ain't nothing wrong with
great. There's
that.
nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to do that.
Right.
So because we are encouraging women to be outside of whatever box society believes we should be, we're considered man-eaters because we're not supposed to be saying these things to women. We're not supposed to be encouraging women, giving bitches confidence. What?
How dare you?
How dare we make a bitch feel good about herself to leave her nigga?
First of all, I'm all for whoever is uplifting whoever.
Right.
So if it's moving the culture in general in a positive aspect, man, y'all do y'all thing.
Yeah.
But
a lot of men don't feel that way. A lot of men get mad at us for giving their bitches confidence.
No, well, that's where my next question was going. So I wonder, because like when I hear y'all talking from a headstrong standpoint, me and a lot of dudes I know, like we find that shit sexy as fuck. I'm gonna keep it real. However, in the dating scene, do y'all come across a lot of men that are just intimidated by the energy?
Oh yeah, some guys are afraid to. I've had guys DM us, so like, I want to talk to you, but I don't want to be talked about on your podcast. I want to talk to you, but you just too strong. I would talk. We get that all the time.
Like most men that I date are usually like polar opposites of me, so they have the space of energy where they feel like they are not considered sometimes, and they're just like, yeah, I love the way that you are, but then on the back end you can tell they're acting off of projected insecurities, and so it's not something I do intentionally, but I feel like we intimidate people because we're just so sure of ourselves. And granted, we do have days where we're like insecure. Some days I don't always feel like fine ass Teray, but you gotta
love the fucking tag.
You gotta show up. You gotta show up as how you want to be like presented. I want to show up as the person that's confident because most times I am, but the days that I'm not, it's kicking my ass.
I'll be the first to tell you I'm so insecure. You will never tell on this podcast, but I am about my body, about a lot of things. I am a very insecure person, but you will never tell that on this podcast because that's not what I'm trying to present. I want bitches to know you are a bigger, better, badder bitch. Yeah. So yeah.
So it's kind of like each day for y'all sitting in front of that camera is a bunch of affirmations.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even before the episodes, I said affirmations to myself.
I feel like it's low key. Like even if we're saying we're talking for other bitches, sometimes we're talking for ourselves. Sometimes we go through shit. Because sometimes we go through shit with niggas that's like, bro, saying this shit out loud, it makes me want to throw up. But it's like, you know what? We here today. We gonna see where we at tomorrow. Because
has either one of y'all dated anybody who matched that fucking energy that y'all bring? Like can give it right back to you, can put you in your place. And when I say put you in place, just meaning like make you draw that line between when I need you to be feminine because I got this masculine situation right now. Like if y'all come across a person when you like, okay, boom, my energy is 100, and then he's right there as like a brick wall, toe to toe with you. Have y'all ran into that type of
I feel like I've dated men like that. Have I been in a successful relationship with men like that? No.
That's the question.
No. But I've dated men like that, and I like men like that. I like men that give me discourse. But most times I end up dating men that balance me out because I'm so on 20 that they're on like 5'10". I always date men that are like, not saying they're lesser energy than me, but they're more calm. They're more stable. They're my anchor. I'm going to make it because that's more empowering than saying you're lesser than me. No, you're my anchor. You make sense of everything that's going on in my head and put it into perspective for me. So
and I'm like the opposite. I like very masculine men.
Yeah, you do.
I like very macho men. And it's probably because I'm an African woman. That's what I was raised to see.
You always say that, like
you are African, but I was raised in a traditional African household. That's a totally different thing. Yeah, I was raised in an African church. Both of my, I was born in Africa too, so I have very foreign parents, and so because I was raised in a very macho masculine household, when I look for men, I like very macho, I don't want to say aggressive, but I like very macho men, and that's what works for me. And most of the macho men I deal with, it's been like a pull of power because I'm a very dominant woman. So it's like I have to find someone who can understand, like, hey, I want you to be as macho and masculine as you can be, but understand, look, I'm a bad bitch too.
Got you.
So you gonna respect my game. Yeah.
So the reason why I had that question, because in my head it's like, I don't know, like, so when you talk about being so nonchalant and being chill, like any woman that I've ever dealt with, they'll be the first to tell you, like, this nigga here, like my chill and my nonchalant, my poise is a gift and a curse. Cause it's like, I can be the person who like really could just kick it with you and be vibing. I'm a great listener and all this stuff. But then like, when I'm out the way, I'm out the fucking way. Like,
completely.
you know what I'm saying? Like in the energy, like, but then at the same time, when you think about the masculine side of me, like when I'm around you and that energy's there, you know there's a man in the room. So the reason why I needed to like have that conversation, because like I get, like me and men like me, we get knocked for wanting to be laid back because it's like, oh, you inconsistent, or you present this whole little thing, but then you go ghost for a week, or you ain't talking. And it's not necessarily ghost. It's just sometimes like if for me, I believe that if I just got your number on Sunday, I don't owe you a fucking conversation. You don't owe anybody within the next 3 to 4 or 5 weeks. Like we're gonna talk how we talk, and as that grows based on the connection, it grows. But don't come at me week one talking about your energy trash. Okay, we're gonna find somebody who can match what you're looking for.
But I also think that's different when we're talking about dating, because I feel you put your best foot forward in the beginning, respectfully. And I feel like if I was to date someone that does stuff like that, you're teaching someone how they can treat you. In my opinion. I feel like if I'm dating someone and they think it's okay to go 3-4 days without talking to me, you're showing them that you're okay with that kind of energy, when respectfully, it takes you only 30 seconds to call someone and just say, hey, I've been busy. But that also goes about the amount of level that you're feeling someone.
Right.
100%.
You see? And this is dating, not when y'all first get y'all's number and y'all just
I'm saying that's the lead up to it. So it starts there, and then you have like those next 2 weeks.
But even guys, which you are talking to consistently, will go ghost. And they think it's okay. It's not okay. Once we reach to a base of we're talking consistently, it's not okay for you to go 3-4 days without talking to me.
Absolutely not.
3-4 days is a bit much.
Because I feel like one day is too much.
That's why I'm like, because like you really don't believe a dude can get busy enough to where it's like a good morning to come. And
if Barack Obama can make time for Michelle, you can make time for me.
But not even that.
I respect it, but
I hear what both of us are saying, because I'm saying the same thing you're saying, but I also know that there's some times where my mental health some days are kicking my fucking ass, and I barely want to get out of bed. So I can understand sometimes not wanting to talk to someone every day, but if it's like something consistently that happens, what, your mind is fucked up every fucking day?
No, it's not about just being your mind fucked up. There's other things that happen.
But even with
that, it takes 2 seconds. If it's a mental health thing and you just can't, it's completely understandable. But if it's just because you're busy and you have work and stuff, that's not understandable.
That's not okay.
Because it takes 2 seconds to send a text. Like,
what does 2 seconds lead to though? Let's be real.
It takes 2 seconds to say, hey, I'm busy. I thought about you today.
Being mindful.
That's true. But I'm saying, what does that lead to after that?
Okay.
9 times out of 10 in my experience.
Okay. So in my opinion, a man being mindful is like, I can understand that there are days you're going to be busy, that you're not going to be what I need you to be. And I can respect it for that. And I know that when you're busy, you're going to tell me you're busy. And I'm not going to be like, damn, this nigga in a car wreck. Is he dead? Like, because most women, and I can only speak
that way for real.
Let me speak for myself, because I say most women, because I'm thinking that I'm the woman's right now. But no, I feel the worst case scenario always goes in my head when I don't hear from someone that I always hear from. Like, I literally feel
I feel like that's all women.
Okay, so it's not just me.
If you don't give us an answer, you leave us room to assume. So when we assume, our mind goes to the worst. You know?
Okay.
So we just want to make sure you're okay. And the fact that you can't even take 2 seconds to be like, hey, I'm busy. I thought about you. I'll talk to you later or tomorrow. It makes us feel like you don't even respect us enough to give us a conversation.
That's what boils down to, the respect of it.
So you know how the reason why. Let me show you. Let me explain why I'm where I am with my stance, right? Okay. So for me, it's like if I give you 24 hours without hearing from me, and at whatever reason you mad about that, but then you give me 24 hours about that, even if you blew up on me, I'm still not tripping. I just understand that people get busy. Boom. I'm the type of person, I'm picking up what we left off. Yeah, I hear from you yesterday. How was your day?
That's how men and women are different.
Exactly.
You have to understand the woman for where she's coming from. Just how we're supposed to understand a man from where he's coming from. You have to understand, if you go that long without talking to us, we're going to assume the worst. We need you to communicate. Communication is not as important to y'all as it is to us. But it is very important to us.
I agree.
So the lack of communication is a problem for women. Just communicate.
And then also, we live in a very meme-driven Instagram world. And it's like, you see things like, if he could, he would.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, if you keep constantly seeing shit, if they're saying, if a man really like you, you would know. If he don't, you would know. Like I'm saying, so when you are constantly seeing these things, even though you're like, oh, no, I'm stable, I'm good, like, we fuck with each other. But if you constantly are seeing this shit, and then you're like, my nigga went 24 hours without talking to me and then text me, hey, how are you? Like, everything's good? No, baby, you're going to get hello. I'm good. What's up? Talk to you later. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to say, because I'm going to give you some real dry ass energy if you go 24 hours without speaking to me and then talk to me like, nigga, I thought you died.
And we're talking about our
crazy.
nigga, not just a nigga.
Yeah, I know y'all come across to me as y'all not tripping over no regular dude.
Oh,
Right. Yeah.
What is a regular nigga? I don't deal with those. I don't prescribe to that.
My
What is a
bad,
regular
homies. Y'all know I got y'all back because like y'all are women's women. I am 10 toes a man's man. But when I say regular, I'm not talking about like men being regular. I'm talking about your casual dude who shoots.
Yeah.
We know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I say you got
That's what we gotta do. You feel me?
So listen, I was sitting in the barbershop earlier when I went to get chopped. You know, I was like, let me go ahead and match their energy and try and make myself half as handsome. Right? Let me try a little bit, you know. So like when I was in the shop, but my barber had some wild shit he said. And I wanted to get y'all thoughts on this before we transition. He had said something, he was like, I'll never think, he said men or women are not equal. That's what his stance. He was like, period. And he was like, I'll never think, act, or respond or anything like a woman because he's not a woman. He was like, therefore, men's feelings and women's feelings are not equal, but they're also not the same, right? And it was much to the point that you were talking about, but he feel like that holistically, like in all aspects of life.
Okay.
Right? And so like, I wanted to get y'all thoughts on that because for me, when I rebutted him, I was like, bro, I definitely think that equality exists in certain areas of life. The job, corporate America is one that pops to the right.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a fuck who you is. If you're doing the exact same work as the person next to you, whether they're a man or female, the salary should be the same.
Right.
But that's not the world we live in. That's not the world.
It's not. Absolutely, it's not. I can tell you right now. I come from an HR background. Y'all are 75 cents to the dollar to us right now.
I'm glad you admit that because a lot of guys don't admit the wage gap. They're like, it's because y'all work less. No, we can have the exact same job and still get paid less.
75 cents to y'all are 25% below us being underpaid. But like, so like from that standpoint, equality absolutely should exist. However, much to the point, like even he's saying even in that space, like he was
even in work, equality shouldn't exist.
Like he's just saying like there's certain things that men or women are like it's just two different.
Well, that's toxic masculinity that we can probably get into later.
That's weird that he feels like two people doing the same job shouldn't get paid the same because she's a woman.
Let me ask you a question.
How does he feel about white and black people? Because
hello,
that's real. Because if a white man and a black man's doing the same job, does he feel like the white man should get paid more?
The white man is clearly going to get more. So how you feel, black man?
How do you feel about that, black man?
Hey, Todd. Hey, at the barber collection, because you wanted me to plug it. They talking to you, bro.
Yeah.
Because I understand where y'all coming from. But I mean, I also got his side from an extent. I told him he lost me when it was like a superiority thing.
Okay, so
I don't think there's one that trumps
Is he in a relationship? Do you know?
Yes, he actually
is. He married?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Okay, so I think his mindset is coming from saying how women are trying to think like men to be equal. I think it's because women, I can't say we are naturally emotional. I know me, I'm a water sign. I can only prescribe to things that I understand. And so because how my emotions work and how my mind thinks, and like we said, worst case scenario, most times, I feel like women try to think like men to level the playing field. Because it's like, I feel like sometimes with women or me, we feel like we care too much. So if we try to put our mind as how a man will operate, it takes off the pressure that we would naturally feel without, I can't, do you kind of agree that you feel like when you start thinking like a man, you try to like take the emotion out of most things?
I don't agree because naturally I'm a more logic person than I'm an emotional person.
Yeah, I'm not.
So I'm a very business standpoint. Like I can do things and take the emotion out of it. Like I tell her all the time with our business, like we have to separate our friendship from the business. And when it's come to business, I'm sorry, Ami, but I don't care about your emotions right now. We got to do what we got to do. But when it comes to your friendship, how you doing, baby? How's your feelings? So because of how I think, I don't agree with that. I don't subscribe to that because I know I can think logically without being over emotional about it. Do I believe every decision has absolutely no emotion? No. There's no way every decision has absolutely no emotion.
No. I think the concept is that you have to let logic
overpower, but emotions will always be a factor.
But I felt, in my opinion, I think that underlying, even though we're not everyone is emotional as myself, I think that emotion does take a major part, even if it's underlying.
Men or women too.
Yeah, I feel like even though, because I feel like you're like, logically, I'm like, oh, I'm letting her go so she can have a better life. But it's like, because you know that if you were to allow yourself to be at the same space as she was, you wouldn't be able to handle it the same as she does.
What is too emotional then for men? Like if like, you know how women be like, this nigga too emotional. What does that look like?
I don't think there's a thing as too emotional because I feel like because as a person that is emotional, I don't think there's a thing as too emotional. I think there is a thing as emotional regulation and knowing when sometimes there's not, you don't have to talk about everything. Because I mean, me and Sammy talk about that all the time. Sammy be like, she's like, sometimes things can go. I'm like, no, I feel like state it, let it be known, let's deal with it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we're solution based, which I am, I'm like, I'm gonna tell you how I feel because if not, if I let that shit bottle, it's going to be projected.
Facts.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't even try to project the emotions I'm feeling, but I'm like, if I know me speaking. So I say too emotional for me. I can't speak for anyone else, but too emotional for me is when you're so emotional that you can't allow the logic to meet the emotion.
Yeah.
Because you're still thinking about all the shit that you're mad about because you didn't even allow yourself to feel that when you felt that because you're trying to be where someone else is at. And that's not natural.
Think there's too emotional.
Yeah,
you know, I definitely.
What does
100%.
that look like?
What she said, it's like whenever you are so emotional that you can't think logically. You're just thinking off like how you feel right now at the moment. And I've learned to, I'm learning actually to take a step back. And if I still feel the same way in 2 to 3 days, then I'm not thinking emotionally. But if I don't feel the same way in 2 to 3 days, I was thinking emotionally.
Right.
So when I'm trying to learn because I'm not there yet. So when I make big decisions, because sometimes to me is, you know, I'll cut you off. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's me thinking emotionally because I'm just like,
Absolutely.
fuck it, whatever. I'm not gonna talk to you no more. So I'm trying to learn how to take a step back and take 2 or 3 days to think about it and then make my decision instead of making that decision right then and there.
Yeah. You said something super important though, because you just mentioned the fact about taking days to get your emotions out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, so I have this whole concept around time and when it comes to relationships, right? And like women have told me like, when you say that shit, it sounds very cliche and generic. Like, well, what does it take for you to get to where you need to be? And I always say one word, it's time.
Yeah.
But what I mean by that is that like if I haven't shown you who the hell I am as a person and like you ain't seen some ugly sides of me. I was telling my little cousin literally last night, I was like, cause I had a situation where like, you know, like I knew a woman like weeks, right? And she was all on this pressure stuff. And I'm like.
I'm sorry, how old was she?
She's like 32.
That's why.
Okay, that's why.
Okay, but let me tell you what she went with. It's like she was pressuring me to like get into this whole little situation, and I'm like I don't even like I've never met none of your friends. Like if I get in a car accident with you tonight, I have nobody to call. I don't know what's going on. So like for me, it's like I can't rush that shit. But even when I meet those people of your friends, like I don't know your people, I don't know your background, that you come from. So for me, I need to see certain shit and how you move around certain crowds and how you are in certain environments. Like are you always? Because I know women do this well, and you guys can knock me if you want, but you guys can wear this little mask for a while. Right. And then when it's time to be relaxed, that mask come off and bro looking like, who the fuck is this? Right.
Yeah,
and so for me, it's like, I have to get through that mask. I have to.
I'm gonna give you a little insight from her point. Unfortunately, a lot of women think of a biological clock standpoint.
Facts.
So because she's feeling her biological clock is ticking, you know, oh, it's time to get married. You know, the pressure of marriage is more on women than it is on men.
Facts.
So she has that standpoint like, okay, I'm 32, I'm not married. What's going on? I'm still single at 32.
My question, does she have kids? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
She does not.
Okay,
Even more.
She does not. Okay.
So she's gonna. Women who think like that are gonna feel more pressured. So because they feel the pressure, they're gonna pressure you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I mean, me, I don't have that biological standpoint, clock standpoint. I feel like whenever I want to have children, I can have children. I have an aunt that had a baby at 56.
Yeah.
Do I want to have a baby at 56? No, but I don't feel that pressure. But maybe because I'm still in my 20s, I don't feel that pressure. Yeah. But maybe when I'm in my 30s, I'm okay.
Don't make that face. Don't do that.
I mean, no,
I don't know.
Being in his 30s, but we're saying,
no, I'm just saying, I don't have until I actually know, because the longer y'all wait to have kids, the more the health risk.
Listen, I ain't waiting. I'm ready
y'all
to
think
shoot
it's the
something
woman, but it's really
you
the
have any
man.
kids right now?
No. I'm ready to poke
You are a
something.
fucking unicorn. He's like
Who
me.
want it, son? Who want it?
The same age as him. He's like, I'm not pressure, but you know.
You
I think
know,
I'm ready.
but it's the biological clock ticks for both of us.
Yeah.
But men
different
don't feel
ways.
the pressure the
Yeah,
same
there's
way
no pressure.
as
I'm
we
cool
do.
waiting another 2, 3, 4 years if I have to.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
She's 32. I don't think she want to wait till she's 37.
Facts.
You know, because especially because a woman's body goes through so much while she's having a child,
Yep.
while she's pregnant.
Right.
Y'all
And with
have
age, it
no
don't get
problems.
better. It does not get better
It
with
does
age.
not get better, and like you have to worry about snapping back and all that stuff.
I get,
And
but my point is like for me in my head, logically thinking, when I thought about her actions, I was like, you hurting yourself way more than you helping yourself with me right now, baby girl. Because like I'm never ever gonna be. You can't force me into it. I can only choose to let you go live and find who the hell you looking for. Because that's not gonna be me at this time. Is the point I'm trying. Like you cool to walk off. You cool to I don't break up bad with nobody. If you hate me, it's because you choose to just be that way. I never give nobody energy, even when I done fucked up. I can apologize 20 times. If you choose to just sit with that anger, that's for you.
Okay, so speaking for a woman that has felt the pressure and does feel the biological, because I have dated someone for 7 years before and we never had a child or the pressure, all it was when y'all having kids, when you do this. So fast forward, I get another boyfriend who already had kids, and my sisters are on their second round of children now because my older sister and my younger sister both have kids. So we're like looking like, oh, when are you having a kid? When are you having a kid? And granted, I'm okay to not have a kid, but when I started feeling more pressure, I started talking about like, I'm like, Sammy, yeah, I might get pregnant next year. She's like, what? This don't even sound like you. Because I'm like, it's not me. It's the pressure that's coming around me.
Yeah.
So yeah, society. Yeah. And it's like
they pressure us to have babies.
And I'm gonna say it's not fair, but it's like we end up giving into it because I'm like, I at a point I was like, okay, let me save up this much money in my account. So if I was to get pregnant, like these are things that women have to think about because logically everyone is looking to you and seeing, like, you know how men want a legacy. Women are like, what can you do for that man? Like, can you produce a child?
Yeah.
That's what we're faced with.
Especially being like foreign women, I feel like the pressure is even more on us than American women. Yeah.
You think so?
I definitely.
I feel like African families are like known for being big and
having lots of children producing. And
well, I'm the youngest of 6, so you know I'm from the South.
I'm the middle child. I'm the middle child. So especially when the middle child hasn't had a child before her younger sister. It's like looked at like, they're like, oh.
Where's your baby?
Yeah, and they're like,
youngest has a baby. Where's yours?
My mom does that. I'm the youngest of 6, and I'm like, Mom, you sitting 11, 12, 13, 14 strong. What you need from...
But I just feel like they need one from every single child.
From every child.
That's literally my mom, and she tries to make me feel guilty about it. She's like, oh, what if I don't make it? I said, Mommy.
I love the accent.
Not even that. My mom is 48. So for you to pressure me when you already have 4 grandchildren...
Oh, that's so young.
So young.
That is so
young. My mom's in her 60s.
So I get it.
You know what's crazy? My mom's husband is 73. Yeah. He just turned 73 yesterday.
Hey, you better work, King. You better slang that goddamn civil rights meat. You hear me? You better slang it, my man.
But no, it's like, yeah. So it's like we feel the pressure. And it's it's not okay for us to do it to y'all, but it's because y'all don't see on the back end how much we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, if we could move through life like y'all do, we would. Because I didn't want a child until last year. And now it's like, I'm trying to think, like, do I still even want one? Yeah. It's like, is that something for me?
Yeah.
I feel you. No, I mean, listen, I just want y'all to understand that, like, while I'll never ever put myself in y'all shoes and be like, the pressure be the same. Just know that, like, there's dudes
we'll never be
out
equal.
here. Yeah, exactly. I know dudes out here though. Like, I know a bunch of, like, y'all call me unicorns. I know a bunch of me's. Cameraman one, you know, like my frat brothers are one. Like,
need unicorns because I don't need a nigga that's 35 with 3 kids. I'm sorry,
please.
My question is like, where are y'all going to find these people?
Tinder.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Hashtag Tinder
Slender love.
I don't have any dating apps, so I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I just meet these people. Like, wherever I meet you.
I have a dating app, Black, but honestly, I use it to promote my podcast. I don't even be on there to find niggas.
Heard the girl.
It just promotes my podcast. I don't find no niggas on that.
And I feel like also, I guess it doesn't help because we do work in the nightlife, so our views of what dating and I usually date by accessibility, and most times I date people that are in the industry, and I don't want to date someone in the fucking industry.
Yeah, I mean,
but you're in the industry.
You're in the industry too, bitch.
I know, but I don't have a problem with dating someone in the industry.
I absolutely hate it. I mean, you know, I've talked to DJs, I've talked to promoters, I've talked to all those.
See, I've never talked to a DJ.
Yes,
Okay.
Please don't.
A lot of the guys I date always end up being professionals. Like I just find,
And I love that for you.
I find professional men.
I love that for you, baby.
So.
Listen, kind of envy. Hey, we gonna switch. We gonna switch conversations real quick because y'all came out the gate talking about how y'all pro sex, pro all this other stuff, right? So really quickly, my just the transition. We're gonna get spicy. I want to know.
It ain't me again.
It's gonna get spicy in the conversation, but like fellas, bear with me because y'all can learn from this. I want to know from two women, like, give me some actions, non-sexual. It could be sexual, but non-sexual that men do that just dry y'all the fuck up.
Like make you turn you on?
Turn you off.
Oh,
like completely
okay.
dry you off.
Because I know I was gonna say,
Did y'all see the joke? She cannot wait to talk about it.
Me and Sarah were talking about this last week, and I was like, I love this shit when nigga do this. I'm like,
Our episode ended with like sex questions. So
we're gonna talk about both.
okay,
sides.
so non-sexual things that men do that drive us crazy.
Ask for a picture.
Oh,
when you're texting me and you ask me for a picture, that immediately dries my pussy up. Gotcha. When we're just texting and we're trying to figure each other out and you ask me if you could come over, that immediately dries my pussy up. If what else dries my pussy up? If you call me big money, automatically dries my pussy up. What else you got?
She running that list. I love
she
it.
really is.
I love it. Niggas say big money. I ain't never called a woman big money, dog.
Niggas will call you big money. You know, you got all the money. I'm like, no, I don't.
I'm poor.
I am poor.
I got my platonic homegirls who I know like get into the bag. Like, that's my partners, though. I ain't fucking on you at all. So I say that to maybe them.
Yeah.
But like somebody I'm dealing with, I've never told
Don't call a woman big money. That
I was gonna say another thing. I mean, like you said, even though you're like you guys are getting your mind together. I hate when men are inconsistent. It's non-sexual, but it's like that's a very big part of if I'm going to fuck you. Like I feel like I need a sense of security. I don't want to just be giving my body to someone that feel like they can just pop in and out of my life. Yeah. The fuck
why is it when we have sex we're giving something up and they're taking it?
Because
why are we giving our body?
I feel like I'm giving it to you though. Even though we are participating
that's
as
an equal
well.
exchange though.
No,
sweetheart.
I feel like I'm giving you something that's considerably close to God, respectfully.
Okay.
No, I mean, respectfully, women. No, really though, they say God, woman's body is a temple. So I feel like I do treat my body as such sometimes.
I know, but I feel like all the time when two people have sex, women, it's like a loss for women and a gain for men. Why?
I don't feel like it's a loss for women though.
But the way you're saying is you're giving something up. That's a loss.
I'm giving, but when women, I'm speaking for me because I can't. I'm not a bitch that can just. I can with some men, but I'm saying if there's someone that I do like and I'm giving my energy, body, because I feel like sex is a very energy exchange thing.
100%.
So if I'm giving that, I'm giving energy. And I already say I'm protecting my energy when it comes to motherfuckers that give me negative energy. So if I'm giving that to you, I am. It's a fucking gift, respectfully, to me, because I treat my energy that way.
Right.
Am I treating my sex that way? Probably not. But I'm treating my energy that I'm giving to you with the intimacy of sex. Because I'm intimate with sex. We doing it all, okay? So I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you intimacy. I'm giving you energy. I'm giving you this. Because I'm not a fish, my nigga. I'm a equal participating
partner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
But it's not taking anything away from me.
Right.
Right.
So,
That's where I stood with it. Because for me, it's like I think that there's a gift exchange on both sides, especially when the sexual.
If dick really that?
Sweetheart, if the sexual energy is matched, you know damn well that's a gift
If the
exchange.
dick is good, then it's a gift exchange.
That's exactly
and I
what
love
it is.
giving my gift to dicks that be dicking.
Yeah, we love giving our pussy to dicks that be dicking.
So, hey, we gonna quote that one for y'all. I'm gonna send it directly to y'all.
Dick be dicking, okay.
If it be dicking, we flicking.
Okay, so like let's flip it though. Now let's flip the question. I'm gonna come to you first because the way you jumped in that seat, I was like, yo, so what is something that make that big purr?
Okay,
so
honestly,
Come make this pussy purr.
Come make this pussy purr.
I just want to shout out the fact that I'm real life drinking wine because they got me doing this. And
we love that for you. And we love that you are trying to be a well-balanced
It's a
man.
balance.
It's the unicorn prize.
Are you Libra?
Okay.
I'm not. I'm a whole Scorpio, sweetheart. Don't disrespect me like
okay,
that.
what's up? What's poppin'?
Don't disrespect me like that. Me and my partner Scorpio. Don't
Okay.
Are you a November or October Scorpio? That's gonna really change.
You know what's up with me. You can look at me and tell.
Are you in November?
Absolutely.
Thank you, baby. That's me too.
You can't get to no other Scorpio
Stop,
until
baby.
you get to me. November
Take
1st.
me out to dinner. I love November Scorpios. I'm sorry.
I'm an Aries.
Because I'm gonna say October Scorpios, man, they be getting in my ass. Not because they're not emotional. They're like really like And I'm like, I can't
Drake
get with it.
Drake is an October Scorpio. He the most emotional.
He's
nigga
a fucking
on
unicorn.
camera.
They do exist, you know. What do they
He
say?
also light-skinned. I
We
got
said
nothing to do with
purple
that.
Wait,
zebras
hold
do
your horses
exist.
now.
Purple zebras do
And
exist.
I'm gonna say
Don't do
again,
that.
you
Yeah, straight up producer. You give her that
What's
goddamn
good?
look. Straight up.
Okay, but
Light-skinned niggas be emotional.
okay, so one very big non-sexual thing a man can do that turns me on is put punctuation in your text messaging. Like that shit, I don't know. It's just like, and then having an extensive vocabulary, just dropping gems. Cause I'm like, I just be hearing niggas talking, then when they say something that I like, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna use that. If a man says something that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use, I'm like, not be
I
learning
love a
from
man that can teach me something.
I love a nigga that could fucking teach
Yeah.
me something.
I used to say I like a hood nigga with an extensive vocabulary. That's
I don't
my
like a
type.
nigga that would do
Nice.
something.
Okay. What else? Okay, so the extent. Listen, fellas, go
hood
get
nigga with
go get a
extensive
fucking dictionary, man.
Extensive vocabulary.
Understand what synergies is, bro.
We need, I
part.
like someone that I can talk to, without it even getting to anything deep. Most men, I feel like we go on dates just so we can not talk. If that makes any sense. Because I say that because I will go on a date with a man and we will go smoke hookah and drink instead of going somewhere where we can
And it's loud.
And it's loud. So what are we talking about, baby?
Yeah.
We're just hanging out and looking at each other and taking videos. What are we talking about, baby?
I'm really confused about. I need to move where y'all move.
If you want to date someone and actually get to know someone, are you going to take her to a club and a hookah spot?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna keep it real with you. I say this a lot on the show, but I'm like, yo, I want to. Are you into candles? You say yes. I'm taking you to make your own candle.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
Do you like to skate? Even though I can't skate worth for damn.
But I'm saying
I love a woman.
You
in
are
some
putting
skates with that
intimate
ass
thought
out.
into it. I'm saying because I remember we were talking about. I went on a date on Tuesday, and my sisters were like, "Oh, did you have fun?" I'm like, "It's really a fake date." She's like, "Why is it?" No, because the guy I saw after that, he was like, "Why was it a fake date? You slid that in there like it was nothing." I was like, "Well, we didn't have sex. It was nothing intimate. We just literally went and smoked hookah." He's like, so
That's
dates
not
have
a date.
I was like, that's not a date. I was like, we hung out. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna say at this point, I can go smoke hookah by myself, and I will. So I'm
You
like,
have.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real with you. If I'm taking you on a date, even if we go into the park and kicking it, and I'm able to tap
You
into
take
your
bitches on walks to parks?
absolutely picnics and
That's
everything.
not okay. A picnic is a date.
Picnic.
Going on a
not
walk.
No,
can
I mean
we
we at the park.
picnic?
But
Can we
picnic.
just say maybe?
A chill,
A
blanket,
picnic.
sitting down, whatever you
That's
want to
a
call it.
picnic,
It's a picnic.
though.
I got a whole picnic kick. I don't give a fuck if you judge
I
me or
love
not.
picnic dates.
Backpack and everything. But my point is if I can do that with a woman, have a whole intellectual conversation and feel like she mind fuck me and vice versa, and whether she give me the ass or not that night, that's a date to me.
I like that. I like dates where
Do you feel different about a woman if y'all fuck the first night?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Fuck no.
I do.
Please let me
It's
know what's
crazy,
down.
I feel like if you let me hit the first night, you don't respect yourself.
I don't feel like you respect yourself,
If I let
even though.
you
And,
hit the first
and the thing is, and I've done
if
it
you
too.
let me hit the first night.
Yeah, I've done it too. Because I feel
y'all
like
thinking too deep, love.
no, but I'm
promise
saying as a woman that I am, if I fuck you the first night,
I don't
chances
respect
are I
you.
just want to probably put you in the category of my little black book of people I can fuck.
Yeah,
when
and
a
that's
nigga that I
it.
don't
that's
like
the
is.
fuck I'm talking. Add me to the Rolodex. Fuck it.
And-
That's what
and-
you want to be.
and-
If
and
you
they
think
get
that's
added.
shallow about me, if you think that's shallow about me, that I'm
If you
easy
don't
because you
respect
got me.
your dick enough to at least let me wait a day or two, nigga, you ain't
If it's the
shit.
first night, I'm gonna put on the condom. That's the respect right there. Because everybody knows.
Hold
that-
on. One thing about me, I got condoms in my motherfucking
That's what
house.
I'm saying.
So
if I'm going wrong
put
with
the
you, I'm
respect on
comfortable
the
with
dick,
you.
not
So
you.
that's my point.
What's
So,
that got to do with you having respect for yourself to not fuck the first day?
okay, fucking the first day versus day 10 or 20 or 40.
The same thing. What
What's
about
the
us? We
difference?
fucking on the first date. Do we not respect
Exactly.
ourselves? I feel like it's liberating when I fuck on
No,
the first
answer
date.
that question. What's the difference?
If I fuck you the first night, chances are we're not talking after that.
So what's the difference from first night to night 10 to night 20 to night 90? Like Steve Harvey wants y'all to do. Like what's the
I
difference?
mean, I don't believe in 90 days.
I don't believe in 90 days either.
You
I can't
know,
even go a week without having
I
sex.
don't-
what's the difference?
The difference is how well y'all know each other. You know, the first night y'all don't know each other as well as y'all know the 10th night or the 20th night.
You really think you know somebody on night 5, night
Fuck
10?
no. I dated someone for
that's
10
not
months
what
and
I'm
I still know that
saying.
nigga.
I'm saying you'll know each other a little bit better
Okay.
by night 10 or by night 20 than you do by night 1.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
But okay, let me ask
More
you a
shared
rebuttal question to that
experiences.
is night 1 versus night 20, are they equally a risk?
Yes. 100%, because you can fuck a nigga 60 days after and he still ain't be shit. You know, you can fuck a nigga the first
So
night.
what the
and
fuck
he
we
shit.
waiting on?
But
is my
honestly,
question.
since
What are we waiting on?
since we said that we're pro
Do you
women,
not
I was the
want
same way. I am going to promote you to have sex with them as soon as possible, so you can
What
see
are
if
we waiting on?
the sexual chemistry is there.
Yeah.
Because that's very important as well with dating
Yeah,
someone.
honestly,
Absolutely.
Having
If
sex
the dick is dicking.
sooner than later is better.
Sooner than
Because
later
if a nigga
is
wanna
better.
Ghost you after the pussy.
I would rather you ghost me after 5
dates
dates, after 20 dates.
than after like us getting to know each other and then you ghost me later.
So you know what? Yeah, we're pro sex. You know what? Do it. Fuck that nigga on the first night. He deserves it. You deserve. Actually, no. Fuck him on the first night. Fuck him on the first night because you deserve it. You deserve dick, bitch.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like he don't deserve pussy, but I deserve dick.
And the thing is, most women sometimes, some women, can't speak for all of y'all.
That's so wild right now.
Most women, they wait a little bit longer to have sex between bodies because they want to make sure that they was good. No, just do what you want to do, girl. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's true. And listen, I am for first and foremost. I'm gonna say I'm all for. Like I'm pro woman in terms of that. I'm never gonna call I don't like. Depends on how you look at the femininity and shit. I'm not gonna call myself a feminist, but I'm pro woman for y'all.
I feel like every man is a feminist. If you believe in equal rights for women, you're a
feminist.
feminist.
Title me however you want. I'm not scared of the title. I don't
describe the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I just believe that women rule the world.
Nah, she wildin'. She wildin'.
Women 100% rule the world because I feel like.
Nigga, you wouldn't be here without a woman.
No. Let's take it back. Why are most wars caused? Women.
Really? That's what I think it's money,
just saying.
Power, and respect. Like,
not recently. Not recently.
Not
recently. But back in the day, most wars are caused because of women. I mean, Caesar did what he had to do because he wanted Cleopatra's pussy. You know what I'm saying?
She taking us back to the Renaissance time.
That's true. Like back in the day, most wars were caused because of women. So you said the pussy power. Niggas will spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on some pussy.
Fucking pussy.
But you cannot find a bitch that would spend hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Hold up, the Twitter what is it? Tinder swindlers? They spend some money on that dick.
Straight up, my homeboy went for 10 million.
Hey,
I wonder
shout out
if
to
they
Simon.
even fucked.
I'm gonna say that.
Fuck?
He fucked all
baby
of them.
mama.
Yeah.
I'm playing with him.
He fucked all of them.
Stop playing. He had an old baby mama.
But for the most part, a man will spend money on something before a woman will.
Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's because like, so I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like how I look at relationships and dating and all that shit, it's about leverage and exchanges, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like at the end of the day, y'all are after something, we are after something. Mm-hmm. We just go about it differently, right?
What are we after?
Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, that's case by woman. I'm not gonna sit here and say you after money and I don't know that about you. I'm not gonna sit there and say that person. You could be. That could be your thing. You could be after.
Maybe I'm after a baby.
You could be using a successful dude who got connection that could put you in a space to kind of grow.
We do like a man with connections. Things, right? I love a man that's very well connected.
My point is like there's users on both sides.
That's another non-sexual thing.
That's what my motto is.
A man that's very well connected.
Yeah. If you aren't useful, you are useless.
Exactly.
So I feel like everyone should be useful. I don't think it's bad to use people. I think it's bad to be a parasite and not be a mutual beneficial relationship. But if I'm using you and you using me and we're both benefiting from the relationship, I think that's fine. But if I'm the only one benefiting or you're the only one benefiting, that's a parasitic relationship and that's not okay with me.
So let me ask y'all this. It's 2022. Like how do y'all rate the dating scene today as y'all experienced it?
0.
It got pee in the pool.
Yeah, piss and shit.
They pushing a different kind of pee.
And some poo-poo.
Honestly, okay. So I only think that I wouldn't say my dating experience is only based off of my knowledge. And my knowledge is, I meet a lot of people in the nightlife. And so for that, I just feel like most dating lacks transparency. That's pretty much what I feel like it is.
It does.
And
I'm on TikTok a lot, and I don't know if it's because men are less likely to talk about their relationship hardship as women, but you see a lot more women coming up with their experience about how horrible it is dating men. Men don't talk as much, and they're less likely to probably expose themselves in that way. So maybe that's why you don't see this much. But from what I've seen, men are not good people. From what I've seen, it's just like, I'm just like, damn, like every time I hit up a girl, like our from what we see, it's like, it's always negative. And I'm not saying it's not negative for men too, because I feel like maybe y'all just don't talk as much. So maybe that's why y'all's L's aren't out there as much as ours is, but you don't see men saying how bad women treat them. But you see a lot of videos.
If you ask my best friend, he would say that I'm not shit, and I'm like, no, they're the problem, not me. So,
but y'all do realize that's because like we're men, we're okay with dealing with the issues you just discussed, just in our circle. Like, it's not that we don't talk about it, but I'm never gonna flick on the camera, post a status, or give y'all any connotation.
why?
Maybe that's why.
I'm gonna sit there and go talk to my partner, but we'll be like, yo, homie, I need to dissect some shit with you real quick.
Okay.
This is the story. You know,
I like
boom.
the
And that's just what we
idea
do.
of you taking down the fourth wall and allowing people to know that you're human. Because if you literally just feel like, you know, nothing phases you, it's like, where's
that.
the room for growth?
He's not-
My circle
He's like,
is
only
letting
his circle
people
knows.
knowing that I'm human. That's who I trust. That's who I talk to. I don't. So you think everybody needs to go out and just explain?
No,
and speak
absolutely
their piece?
not. I do not feel like, because I feel like I've been through some shit that my fucking podcast would never fucking hear about.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
But respectfully, I feel like, you know, women, I'm saying, because women only speak of their experiences of it being bad. And
Oh, you said for learning purposes. You think
for learning
that
purposes,
guys should-
because we feel like men don't put us into the now. Because I feel like every woman that I've known that said they talk to somebody, they're like, oh yeah, I gave him my background history. First of all, sorry y'all. Side note, women, don't tell men what you put up with, because that means that they know that you're gonna put up with that shit, and they're gonna like let you get through that.
Yeah.
So if you
Tell
are
me
a
all the
woman that's
buttons,
been
baby.
through some
I'm
shit,
pushing it.
I'm gonna say, tell the man that you've been with the best man of your entire life. You just couldn't be with him because of distance. Tell him that you had the man paying for everything, because men are gonna only meet you where you already were at.
Yep.
my thing about that is how it's misleading is that you're going to that situation lying, but then don't want anybody lying to you.
Show up how you want to be perceived.
Yeah.
A lie is a lie, right?
Facts. That is a fact.
Right. So if we're making lies okay in the relationship, you can't then turn around and be mad when he lied to you later. Am I right or wrong about that?
No, that's a very much.
I feel like you're wrong, because we're lying about how what treatment we allow.
Yeah.
That's what we're lying about. Because we tell you, oh, my last nigga cheated on me. You're like, oh, this bitch just stopped cheating.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what y'all think.
No, it's not. I was just going to tell y'all that is not how men go about. If you tell me, if I look at you and I'm really trying to fuck with you, love, and then you tell me you've been hurt, my instance is not to be like, okay, I got
feel
this
like
beat.
y'all's co-captain, fucking Kevin Samuel said that shit. He said, when women tell me how they've been treated, I only match what they was fucking treated like.
Yeah.
So my question back to him and you is, how do we move forward as a culture if we're matching?
Okay,
past
so the bridge
experiences
is
and energy?
understanding. And most times when people date, they don't date for understanding. They date for their needs. People go for the immediate need of what they want when they're dating. Can we not agree with that?
Yeah.
Because
sure.
I'm gonna say, if I need someone that has stability, mind you, if I'm someone that works outside, I'm looking for someone that has things that I lack, because I don't have stability in my life, because I want to pick up and do what I want to do because I can, because I don't have any kids, I don't have any So if I'm looking for someone, I'm looking for something that I don't have. So yes, you're gonna have to sometimes maybe false advertisement, not lie. You just gotta probably gloss up some parts that are great and then work on the parts that you aren't with them.
What you just said is exactly what women complain about men doing.
Yeah.
I think. But
I guess I'm a nigga, bitch.
That's
I
what
guess
I'm
I'm a
saying.
nigga.
For
Because
me,
there's
it's
only
like-
so long you can keep up with that persona until
Right.
the nigga really shows you who
So my
he
point is like-
But I feel like I don't lie about me having those flaws. But what I do is try to work on them, even though they don't happen overnight.
I'll tell you this.
lie
So
about
this is
those
my
flaws.
So you
approach.
think not admitting is, but to me, not admitting is still a lie.
I don't
It's
agree with
lie
that.
by omission. It's lie
don't
by
agree with
omission.
that.
I feel like
If
I
you
don't
ain't
believe
asking
about.
the
I don't.
question,
I'm gonna say I don't
right.
believe about. I'm gonna say exactly, because I'm gonna say my ex-boyfriend. I feel like it wasn't lie by omission. I was like, with him, I have to ask him very specific questions to get a very specific answer. So that's when I learned that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask
I
you.
hate how we have to do that. And I learned that the hard way, because when I asked the guy if he had kids, he said no. And then I found out he had some babies a couple months later. And he was like,
That's lying.
he was
That's
like,
different.
oh,
That's
you
different.
ain't
That's
asked me if
different.
I had kids on the way. And I'm like, what's the difference between having kids and then kids on the way? Like,
Oh, we gonna finesse some shit. We
so
gonna,
when
Exactly.
I learned, when he did that, I was like,
finesse
wow,
it.
you have to ask men specific questions.
And when you learn that, then that means you learn that person and you know how
Yeah.
to maneuver with that person. Is it any like bad at juju? No, it's just you know
it's just energy.
learn how to deal with that person accordingly. Where are you gonna find them? Because some people are naturally liars.
So for me, and I'll be honest with you, and I'll challenge any woman I've ever dealt with to stand on this and tell me. So like my initial thing when I'm within the first week, I look a woman square in her eyes, because the one thing I don't do, because I don't see a point in, is I'm never gonna lie to you. And when I say lie, I mean from a standpoint of where it affects your ability to make a decision. So like if you caught me cheating and asked me on it, I stand 10 toes on that. My partner Jeremy will tell you, like he tells me I tell too much truth. That's his exact words to me. So
I
Don't
never
you
met
feel what you said about me? Like you tell too much. You
I ain't never met a truthful ass nigga.
I'm
Just
just
too
like,
much
no,
shit.
listen, little white
I've met
laugh. I'm
truthful
trying to
niggas.
surprise
I
you on
have.
some shit, and like I'll fuck with your little brain if I do some shit where it's like it's harmless, or like, hey, you know what I'm saying,
It's a Scorpio thing. It is.
It is. I'm talking about if
we are
difference
literally,
between,
we don't filter anything. We're
Scorpio?
like, yeah, it's a Scorpio thing.
Hey, I keep Scorpios on this show, y'all, and not on purpose.
I'm gonna say, didn't we just say that we were both Scorpio?
I thought you just shook my head because you like Scorpio.
No, she is Scorpio.
That's what's up. November what?
2nd.
Oh, you right after me.
Oh, he remembered her
Right
birthday.
after me.
Yo, shit, producer.
Huh, bro? Hey,
wow.
love to turn up.
Not you knowing me. Not you knowing
You
me.
knew the birthday and everything. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. I'm at a disadvantage, y'all. Y'all see, I'm sitting 2 against 1. They even brought their own producer to shoot the show, but I fuck with dude. Because, him and John tight. So it's like, this is certified steppers, but they kicked in the fucking door and was like, give me that.
It's a slash certified stepper slash real super spell on this bitch.
Right. And listen, so the last thing I want to touch on before we go into bro sis talk that I talked to y'all about is just like we talked about this dating scene, this masculine versus feminine energy. We're talking about all of the, you guys being man eaters and the verses of the world,
Y'all
right?
know about us being man eaters. We just
I don't consider
I don't
nobody
think I'm
a
a
man
man eater. I just
up.
don't think men are used to women speaking so openly, loudly, and proudly about their truth. And it's like, oh wow, women feel these things. Oh wow, women think these things. Like guys, all the time, guys would think like a woman's just so innocent and good
sure.
and not doing nothing. Now we do our own motherfucking
I know, right?
out
No,
there
that's
good, and we just
naive
do it
niggas.
better.
Let's be real. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's naive niggas. Like that's the niggas you talking about are niggas who will tell you I don't got no female homies. I don't hang with girls unless I'm fucking on them and shit. Man, I study y'all.
Okay.
Like I do everything else because I got homies that I won't touch with a fucking 10-foot pole out of respect. Either you talk to my homie, you got a pass or something. But I'm cool with being around women and being in that energy and being called on my shit.
Okay.
However, I run into the same problem when I reciprocate the energy. Women ain't really receptive either.
Yeah.
But like the point I wanted to get at though is like all that bullshit you deal with, it comes to like protecting your peace, right? Because there's certain shit that you want to deal with, certain shit that you don't want to deal with, right?
Right. And I feel like we've come to a place where we feel like we have to play before we get played.
Facts.
And I hate that.
Facts.
You think
Because
that's always been a women trait or y'all just learned that shit?
I feel like we just learned that
That's
shit.
why I
'cause
told you we have to try to think like a man
Yeah.
so we can level the playing field.
we're tired of getting played. So now we're like, let me play you before you play us. A lot of times it's like women are, I want to say women are naturally loyal by default, but women naturally want to be in a relationship by default. We already want to, a lot of times women are overstep their boundaries. They're already playing the
Playing a
girlfriend,
role
wifey role.
that you was not even given, baby.
That you
Absolutely.
not even giving us.
Now I will admit to that. If you giving me that energy before I even gave you the title, I'm cool with you continuing that energy.
Exactly. And that's why you got to cut that
So
shit off.
because
real quick.
women naturally already want to do that to prove that we are wifey or girlfriend material. And we're learning that, hey, you can do all these things, but you can wash a nigga's drawers, cook, clean, all that shit, but he gonna be with the bitch he wanna be with.
Facts.
So we've learned that. I feel like we're learning that actually. So now we're at the mindset like, well, these niggas be playing us, we're gonna play them right the fuck back. So it's like a tug of war between men and women right now because we're gaining our power. Because for the longest time, we have to depend on y'all. It's not up until the last 40 years that women just it's not until the 1970s that we got our own bank account.
Yeah.
So it's not until the last 40 years that we have gained our independence. Women no longer have to stay in relationships because we need y'all, because we want y'all.
Yeah, 'cause we want y'all.
So that's the tug of war power that we're playing with. And now you're dealing with women who no longer feel the need to stay in a relationship because we need y'all, it's because we want y'all. So it's like a power thing, a power struggle. So it's like we're learning this balance in this generation.
The thing is, with the power struggle, they consider us being too independent.
Too
though.
independent, yeah.
And it's like, would you rather a woman that wants you or a woman that needs you?
Right.
Yeah. No, I got you. I mean,
What do you want?
it could go, honestly, it's like, I think that
Do you
when
feel the need to be needed? Do you want a woman that needs you, or do you want a woman that wants you?
I want you here. I want you
Okay.
here. The minute you depending on me and I'm the backbone of everything,
Yeah.
and we crack. I've been in places where I've tore myself down and built myself up more times than I would like to admit. So I'm cool. I got us. I got me.
Okay.
However, if you come into the table and you just need me and we fall off,
Yeah.
and you still in that state of need, then we both crumbling.
Right.
Like I want you to be here. I want you to be stable. Like I don't come to me fucking disgruntled or none of that shit. Be happy. Be in your space. Be the woman you want to be.
Vibrate
Especially
so
at
high.
36. I'm fucking 36 years old.
not even that.
There's no way in hell I'm putting up with a woman who ain't figured out who she is as a woman yet. I'm not
Period.
doing
I'm
it.
gonna say
As
that.
you shouldn't.
I'm gonna say, like we like a chick, like every woman, just do everything for you. And if the man, if a man meets you where you're at, that's where it needs to be. Don't ever meet a man where he's at. Let them meet you where you're at.
But that also, y'all got to understand that as men, we gon' just like y'all, we gonna come with some bad shit.
Of course,
right?
So gravitate towards peace.
Okay, exactly. So my question is now: is there toxic energy that y'all would accept?
If you want to be in a relationship with someone, you have to accept some toxic energy.
Facts.
What does that look like for you?
Okay, I can accept a man who is not the best at communicating.
Okay.
You know, I can accept a man who wants to be reclusive and not always who wants his own space.
Yeah.
You know, I can accept a man who just, you know, leaves me in the back burner and doesn't want to fix the problems we have, or a man who just, when there's an argument, he just walks out the room or
How do you
stuff
separate
like that.
if you don't know what their mindset's like? Because what if them not doing that is them accumulating to them being bad at communicating because they never had to do that?
Time, honestly. That's
You heard it. You fucking heard it. I don't want to hear another fucking comment or DM or nothing. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Thank you. I'm sorry.
You said exactly what he needed you to say.
But I mean, it's true though. It's really time. It's getting to know that person and knowing who he is as a person and figuring out like
I agree.
This is him just being himself, or this is him being a bad partner.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I meant when I said earlier with time. I was like, understand that you either need to know that either this is who I am as a person, or I'm just not the partner for you. Yeah. And the time is only going to be
definitely. I say that all the time. I'm a turtle. I'm the type of person that feels like I have the relationship in like a couple months. I'm cool with dating 9, 10, months, just us dating, because when I want to be in my next relationship, I want to know everything about you.
I'm in love after 3 seconds. So
she falls in love fast. I want to know everything about you because I want to know if I can deal with you. Yeah. Because it's to me, I don't want to be in a relationship with someone and then find out later like, oh, I can't deal with this. Like, this is too much for me.
She said, figure it out on the way. I'm like, that shit's
I don't want to figure it out on the way.
But I mean, I like the spontaneity of it. I love that.
I don't want to figure it out on the way.
I believe like, so for me, like I understand your side and your side.
Yeah.
I think I lean more to your side, but I'm cool with that balance. Like, I don't know if like I'm gonna be rocking with you for 2
I don't want
years.
us to be dating forever and then it's not, no, you ain't gonna dress me, baby.
Do that. Yeah,
come on.
Like,
10-year engagement head asses.
I don't do no 1 year situationship, baby. You gonna give me a title.
I'll do a 2-year engagement, 3, 4. If I ask you to marry me and you let this shit ride for 7,200 days.
So do you believe in ultimatums? So you're okay with ultimatums then?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, some guys feel like ultimatums are the end of a relationship.
No, because like, let me give y'all some free game real quick. Like we kind of know, like when we found somebody and we ready to get to the relationship status, he has to, most dudes are thinking,
you have to make a decision.
I can see myself with her like at a point. But then when you start thinking about the concept of getting past the relationship and then getting to the point of engagement and marriage, that's where the business side that you talked about comes into play. So a lot of women think that men are just scared, or we hold them back, or we got these other bitches, or whatever excuses you coming up. It's like, because I can tell you this because I'm a divorcee. I've been through the whole cycle, right? Okay. And so like a lot of times before I got on one knee, it was like, yo, am I in a position to take care of this woman? Can I handle her? Can I do this? Outside of making sure that my whole phase is over with, I ain't looking at nobody like that.
I'm sorry. Why is it a lot of men feel like if they cannot fully financially provide for a woman, they're not enough for her?
Because
why is that y'all's only value?
That's not our only value. Let me tell you, much to the point to where she said the reason why she has to lie to men because of how they're gonna perceive her, right? Okay. If she say that she's been cheated on and all that shit, men are gonna do that, right? Okay. If I come to you and say, or not just you, but like most women, if I come to you and be like, yo, I ain't figured it out yet, I'm still doing this. Like I might be working with your UPS right now. I ain't got where I want to be, but and if I come to you like that, and from an honesty standpoint, it's like you're gonna be like, oh, okay, cool, and you're gonna save face, but at the end of the day, you didn't already labeled me as what you gonna label me.
And that's a fact, because I'm gonna say there's been men that have been extremely honest with me, and that's what I appreciated. But then it made me like their one honest statement made me realize this is where I'm going to put you in my life.
Okay, yeah,
absolutely,
and that's what it is.
Okay,
and so if I'm gonna ever get to a point to be very serious to ask a woman to marry me, I better damn well make sure that I can handle what comes with this. Make sure I can handle her emotional support. Make sure I can handle her financial support. Making sure I can handle her, like just her state of being in general. Like it's a give and take. And for me, like I'm gonna always walk in the room and make sure that you feel like you're involved in the life that we're living together. And I want to make sure that you reciprocate that energy.
Okay,
yeah, like that just is what it is.
I can respect that.
So
I just want men to know that you are more than just financial.
Absolutely.
And a lot of guys feel like
we know that they know that, but they don't feel.
They don't feel that. You are more than just what you bring
society
financially.
tells us that you only can bring money to the table in order to eat. I'm talking about
Western
today.
societal
You can only bring money to the table to even have. Like there's men out here who value a very beautiful woman, right? And like how do I get into her head? The easiest way if a nigga got some money is, hey, shorty, let me go show you this lavish life.
Okay,
baby, right? Take me out to dinner. Absolutely, like that's the game you gonna run. You know why? Because it's easy. The reason why I am the way I am. I'll tell you, I'm very strategic. I love tapping into the intellect because I know I'm winning that way.
Okay,
yeah.
The success rate of what I don't lose often.
Financial does matter. To me, I'm not gonna lie, but if you are not stimulating my mind, what's the point?
Stimulate this pussy.
Stimulate this pussy and this brain. I want to be wet for my pussy and my brain.
Oh, listen. Hey, this has been a dope episode. First and foremost, I want to thank both of y'all for stopping
Thank
in.
you.
I've had a blast. And I said it privately, but I'm always going to sing y'all praises publicly. I do that to every guest. If y'all haven't already, these are two dope ass podcasters. Again, the real sip and spill. I promise you, from a woman's perspective, they're gonna give y'all so much game. Fellas, check out as well. Y'all may not like the delivery, but there's a message in all what they are saying. I promise you, it's a little raunchy. It's gonna get a little serious, but they speak their truth. And if y'all open up your ears and listen, man, it's dope content coming from dope people. So make sure y'all check them out. This is the segment of the show where we go into our bro and sis talk, though.
Okay.
So and that part of the show is where we give the audience some advice. We talk about any free game you want to give.
Okay, so you give them free game first. How about you?
Sure, yeah. I was gonna go first. I'm gonna go first with my bro talk, and I'll tell you how I do it.
Okay.
And then my sis talk, y'all can take whatever y'all want.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So listen, fellas, for bro talk for bro talk today, man, I just want to talk about the concept of understanding your fucking worth as a man. And much to the point to what they were talking about, it's ironic that y'all went there. It's like, it doesn't rest in your pockets. It doesn't rest in your financial ability. It doesn't sit in the ability for you to pull bitches or look light-skinned or be handsome. My nigga, how are you as a man? What's your morals like? Do you care about your community? Do you care about your people? So my advice to you is tap into who the fuck you is and then show that woman that you A1, and I promise you, you will not lose.
Okay. You want to go, Sammy? You got some sis talk to say?
My only sis talk is I want women to know you are great the way you are. You don't have to strip yourself and to make yourself into whatever idea you think a man wants or what he needs to be, what he needs you to be. If you are just yourself and you stand in your own truth as a bad bitch, you will attract the right kind of partner. You will attract the right kind of person. And honestly, not even just about a man, you will attract the right kind of friends.
Hello.
I'm a very woman's woman. I care about my friendship more than I care about a man.
And do.
So,
And do.
yeah, I do. I am big on women relationships. So as long as you have a good female group around you, niggas come and go. Like, what would you say? Bitches like buses. Miss one, next 15-1 coming.
Period.
Niggas are like buses. Miss one, next 15-1 coming.
gonna say
but
mine-
what's not coming around is your bitches. So
They
keep
might
that.
come around though.
I keep the same circle of friends. I've had the same circle of friends for years. It takes me a lot to, you know me.
Yeah,
I don't like. I'm no new friends.
I think.
So yeah.
Okay, so my sis talk, bro talk, whatever the fuck we want to call it, it's for everyone. It's because you can only be as good to people as you are to yourself. So I always say pour into yourself, go to therapy, make sure that your mental health is good, because at the end of the fucking day, you have yourself to answer to, sleep with. You died alone. I mean, you were born alone, you're gonna die alone, respectfully. So as long as you can look yourself in the mirror and understand that everything that you gave to this world was everything that got put back into you, that's the best part of it.
Love it. I
Amen.
love it. Wise words from two beautiful women, as I said. My last question. It's Thursday night.
Okay.
Me and my little cousin, cameraman, as I call him, because I don't put his name out there. He a different kind of nigga.
Somebody looking for him. I think these niggas trying to set me up.
We probably finna go get a
I'll
happy
just
hour, though. So what y'all
paranoid.
recommending for a Thursday night? Give me one
Okay,
real
so
quick.
y'all don't know this already from my motherfucking podcast. I work at Crew Lounge. It is 311
The
Travis
fact that
Street.
you got the
we
address
stay at
memorized.
Crew.
I'm gonna say 311 Travis Street. I'm gonna be there tonight. Actually, I'm kind of
can all go right now.
No,
We can
I
actually
stay
go
at
smoke some hookah, live some life. You
Y'all
know,
tryna go? We
the
can go right
vibes
now.
are free, and they always say catch a vibe, and the vibe is always with fucking ambitious Teray. What's popping?
And that's
what
the
it is.
motherfucking shoot. Book a section with my bitch.
Straight up. Hey, well, listen, man, I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I thank you two beautiful women for tapping in with me. Thank you, producer, for making sure you record a dope-ass episode. Cuzzo, As always, salute. This is KP of the Certified Steppers. This is another episode, aka a Stepisode, and we're gonna see y'all on the other side.